Get ready for The Splash Live, Greater West Bloomfield's dedicated update show. Events, businesses, and people. Anything and anyone causing a ripple in the community. And now, let's dive in to The Splash Live.
Welcome to The Splash Live. Good morning. I am Larry Nell, and thanks to everyone from West Bloomfield, Keego Harbor, Sylvan Lake, and Orchard Lake for tuning in on this wonderful Monday morning. The Splash Live is Greater West Bloomfield's very own daily TV and radio streaming show. Watch us live Monday through Fridays from 9:30 to 10 a.m. on Civic Center TV. Catch us on Comcast Channel 15, AT&T Channel 99, on the web at civiccentertv.com, on Civic Center TV's Facebook app, and you can even listen live on 89.3 Lakes FM. The Splash Live is part of Civic Center TV and Lake FM's 90 minutes of live local programming. Taking a look at the weather today, it's going to be another beautiful fall day as the warm weather continues to start off the week. Mostly sunny skies today with a high of 63. It's going to be clear overnight with a low of around 44, and then mostly sunny again on Tuesday, warmer with a high around 70 degrees. Well, the West Bloomfield Lakers football team got back on track on Friday night with a decisive win over Lake Orion, 41-14. The Lakers are back in action this coming Friday with another home tilt against the Oxford Wildcats, who continue their inspired season following the tragic events of last November, which took the lives of 4 students, including Oxford football player Tate Meir. As always, tune into the game live on Civic Center TV this Friday and also on WBTV. If you don't have time to sit down and watch it, listen on the go at 89.3 Lakes FM. Yesterday, great weather also greeted hundreds of guests at the annual West Bloomfield Fire Department Open House held at Fire Station 1. It was a great opportunity for local families to see firsthand what it's like to be a firefighter. Our own Tyler Kieft hosted a live broadcast from the open house, and we'll look back on some of the great interviews he was able to nab later in the week. And our final headline from the day, well, yesterday I had the pleasure, or lack thereof, of attending the Detroit Lions-Seattle Seahawks football game at Ford Field. The game was a bust as the Lions lost 48-45, but I did receive this lovely Amon-Ra St. Brown bobblehead for all the grief that I had to endure. As you know, I think now that we have Amon here, we might be able to ask him a few of the questions from the game from last night. Amon, do you play on a really bad football team? Oh, yeah, you do. Okay, that's nice. Is there a chance that your head coach does not know what it takes to make it as an NFL coach? Yeah, that's what I thought as well. You know, when you have the opening coin toss and you win the toss, don't you think when you have a really bad defense that you should take the ball? Yeah, that's what I thought as well. Well, I think, Amon, if you could stick around for this week and we might be able to talk to you a little bit more, that would be awesome. Thank you, Amon. We want to thank the Lions for, again, ending a season less than a month before it even began. We're going to take a short break here on the Splash Live, and when we get back, I'll be talking with Kathy Sheiko from Blessings in a Backpack. That's next here on the Splash Live.
We'll be right back with The Splash Live.
Now that the vaccine is available for children 5 and up, why do you recommend it?
Kids are part of the community and they can spread COVID.
We're seeing both healthy children getting sick from the virus as well as children with underlying health conditions.
They can easily bring the virus home to other people that are vulnerable and make them sick as well.
This vaccine can change that and keep children safe.
It's essential that your children get vaccinated to protect them, to protect your families, and to protect those in the community around you.
Let's whoop it up for these moments, made possible by the COVID-19 vaccine. Keep the cheering going by keeping yourself protected and your COVID-19 vaccines up to date.
No, it's peaceful, it's quiet, and the noise and stress of life can sometimes disappear.
It's the Great Lakes water, and so what people do ends up in our waterways.
It's for our health and safety, it's for our economy, it's for protecting the environment that we all enjoy and we all need to survive.
So clearing storm drains and the areas nearby of trash and leaves helps keep them for rain only.
We're all about one water in this region. We're all connected. We all have a role.
And now, back to the Splash, live.
Well, welcome back to the Splash Live. I am Larry Nyland. Well, statistics say that 1 in 6 children in the United States may be struggling every day with access to food. And one of the great organizations trying to combat that statistic is Blessings in a Backpack. Joining us now from the West Bloomfield Keego Harbor chapter of Blessings in a Backpack is Kathy Sheiko. Kathy, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
You're welcome.
So Kathy, for those who aren't familiar with Blessings in a Backpack, can you talk about exactly what the mission of Blessings in a Backpack is?
Blessings in the Backpack's goal or mission is to send 6 non-perishable meals home with students every weekend of the school year. Many of the students come to school, they get free lunch, they get free breakfast, and then when they go home on the weekends, there isn't any food. So the program was started in 2005 by a teacher in Louisville, Kentucky, when she saw her students coming back to school on Monday, cranky and out of sorts, and she tied it in with the fact that they had not had enough to eat on the weekend. So it's a program that mission is to feed hungry children.
And it has such a great name, alliterative name, Blessings in a Backpack. Could you talk about a little bit what the significance of the backpack in the name of the organization is?
Well, the food goes home in the student's backpack. We pack it once a week, and it's delivered to the classrooms. The teachers help the students get it into their backpacks, and thus they go home and they take their food home in backpack.
You know, I think a lot of people might not think that this area has children who might have difficulty getting 3 square meals a day, but that's not necessarily the case, is it?
No, it's not. As I've said more than once to many people that have asked me that very same question, that your neighbor right next door might be having issues with finances and you have no idea that they don't have enough food to feed their children.
Now, typically, how is Blessings in a Backpack usually funded? Is it mostly done through donations, or how does it work exactly?
It is done totally on donations. We do have a trivia night coming up November 4th. It's our one major fundraiser for the school year, where we take sponsorships and certainly any kind of monetary donation. And that money is used to buy food at a discount from Meijer, and that's how we are able to fund or buy the food with donations. This whole program is run strictly by volunteers. There's no one that's taking any money anywhere except for Meijer, of course, for the food that we pay. And so everything that we get donated is used to buy provisions for our weekly packing.
Now, I'd imagine, I remember being young, it seemed like everything that was different from the norm when I was in school would kind of like lead to embarrassment or something like that. Are there ever situations where kids are kind of maybe embarrassed to ask for help, or their families are embarrassed to ask for help? How do you reach out to folks who you know need some help but might be hesitant to ask for it?
There is no question that stigma is there, especially for our high school and middle school kids, who we would love to have more of them in the program. We started several years ago, we started actually delivering to our high school kids. We have volunteers that will take them, just drop the bag at the house. They don't interact. They don't have to, no one has to be there. But because our high school kids were not picking up the food, we decided that we would try that. And that has worked well, but we still have a lot of students that we could be servicing that were not. At the elementary level, it's not so prevalent, but we have wonderful teachers that actually take the bags that when we send them and put them in the students' lockers or actually right into their backpacks, so that no one needs to be the wiser. And for families, we count on our secretaries and our principals and certainly our classroom teachers to reach out to those parents who won't fill out the form, so that we have permission to send the food home. And so we get more participants that way also.
So another way that you're going to be able to try to raise some funds, there's the upcoming trivia night that's coming up on Friday, November 4th. Could you talk a little bit about that evening?
It's great fun. We've done it, I think this is going to be our 5th time. So this time it's a sitcom theme. But you come, you have dinner, and then we play 6 rounds of trivia, and we have raffles, of course, and all the proceeds go to Blessings in a Backpack.
So yeah, I saw your flyer there. It had some nice caricatures of some classic sitcoms like Seinfeld. Was that someone at your organization in West Bloomfield that made those pick photos up?
We have a wonderful, wonderful graphic designer who actually used to do PR for the school district, Pam Zajac, that helps us make our flyers and our sponsorship forms. So that's her creativity. I'd like to tell you it's mine, but totally hers. And our theme again this year is sitcoms. So all of the questions will be related to one of the sitcoms that in past years that were so popular on TV.
And do you know roughly how much do people have to pay in order to do it?
It's $35. And all of the proceeds, except of course what we have to pay for the dinner, goes directly to Blessings in a Backpack.
So it's hard to believe that we're less than like 3 months from Christmas time. Do you guys have any other kind of fundraising events going on around the holidays?
No, this is we are very fortunate in West Bloomfield. People are very generous. And not just West Bloomfield, all of our families and friends that we convinced to donate to Blessings. And it's really not hard to convince people to donate to an organization that feeds hungry children. So this one fundraiser really funds us for the entire school year. We have to raise about $35,000, $40,000, depending on the number of students we have enrolled each school year, so that we can make sure that we have the funds to purchase food each month for the entire school year.
What kind of feedback do you get from families who are benefiting from this program? I guess they're very grateful to have this offering, especially with the economy the way it is now, and inflation and prices at the grocery store are just kind of crazy.
We have parents that drop us notes and tell us how grateful they are, especially at this time of year when they are enrolling again for the school year, how much they are appreciative of the extra food for their children. And I'll tell you, this is my favorite story, so I'll just be real quick about it. But when we first started doing Blessings, a teacher was doing a lesson in school, in her classroom, and it was the whole notion of it was, I used to think and now I know. And so a little boy said, I used to think the spiders were insects, and now they know they're arachnids. And this one, these are second graders. This one little second grade girl said, I used to think I'd go home on the weekends and be hungry, but now I know that there's a bag of food in my locker on Fridays. So those kinds of things out of the mouths of babes is what keeps us going and keeping this organization alive.
Yeah, she's like, I'll give you something real here. I've got food waiting for me, and I didn't think so before. Yeah, that is a great story.
Forget about the spider.
Exactly, yeah. So, Kathy, before we let you go, could you just remind everyone once again when and where the trivia night's going to be held?
Trivia night is going to be Friday, November 4th at St. George Cultural Center on Woodward Avenue, just north of Square Lake Road. You can go to blessingsinAbackpackmi.org to register by going to events and look for the trivia night for West Bloomfield, Keiko Harbor. You can also go there just to donate if you don't care to come to trivia night. And
if folks want to volunteer to help you out, how can they get in touch?
They can call 248-521-0074.
Kathy, I want to thank you so much for joining us this morning, and thank you and your team for all the great work that you do.
Thanks for having us.
That's Kathy Sheiko, chairperson of Blessings in a Backpack for West Bloomfield and Keiko Harbor. We're going to take a quick break here, and when we come back, we'll be joined by the director of the West Bloomfield Township Public Library, Kathy Russ. That's next on The Splash Live.
We'll be right back with The Splash Live.
Let's relish these moments, made possible by the COVID-19 vaccine. Keep the festivals going by keeping yourself protected and your COVID-19 vaccines up to date. Can I ask you a question? Why do you want to get the COVID-19 vaccine?
I don't like getting sick. The virus will die. It will be easy to not catch it. Keep my family safe and keep playing soccer. Because I love being vaccinated.
What's your hope for everyone?
I hope everybody gets the vaccine. To keep safe and strong. Be happy, having fun everywhere. Everyone stay safe and hope you get the vaccine.
It's peaceful. It's quiet, and the noise and stress of life can sometimes disappear.
It's the Great Lakes water. And so what people do ends up in our waterways.
It's for our health and safety, it's for our economy, it's for protecting the environment that we all enjoy and we all need to survive.
So clearing storm drains and the areas nearby of trash and leaves helps keep them for rain only.
We're all about one water in this region. We're all connected. We all have a role.
And now, back to the Splash, live.
Welcome back to the Splash Live. I am Larry Nyland. Well, West Bloomfield is home to one of the best and most frequented public libraries in Metro Detroit. Joining us now is the director of the West Bloomfield Township Public Library, Kathy Russ. Kathy, thank you so much for joining us today. How are you? See, I have to cough, so excuse me for just a second. We have no cough button here in the studio. I think I'm okay, though. Let me get to the first question. And if you want to be long-winded when you answer it, go right ahead. So,
I'm always long-winded, Larry.
Well, thank you. That's what we appreciate. So I want to start off with just a tad of negativity, but it was resolved last week. You folks had a power outage that shut down, caused you to close the main library and also shut down your website. Can you talk a little bit about what caused that and how it was resolved?
Sure, and this is a really great question for me to be long-winded about. So anyway, people who have lived in West Bloomfield for any amount of time know that, kind of like when the wind blows, the power goes out. And so what happened was, I guess let me back up. There's a power loop provided by DTE that runs through the entire Civic Center campus. And there was a break in that power loop on Friday, September 23rd. So the police station, Township Hall, the Parks Department, and the library all went on backup generators to run our operations. And everything was fine at the library until Monday. Our two generators started having some trouble. And part of the problem with the generators is because they've been used so much over the last several months. We've lost power several times and had to be on generator power for several days at a time. And they're not really designed to run, weeks and weeks and weeks in one go. So anyway, so our generators started to have trouble on Monday, and by Tuesday, the one generator was shutting itself off and turning itself back on spontaneously every 20 minutes. As a result, the library started having brownouts. We were losing services. Our phone system was up and down, so on and so forth. So, we had the emergency electricians out to take a look at it, and they determined that there were 3 issues. They could solve 2, but they needed to get a part for the 3rd issue. And as you know, we've experienced it firsthand, supply chain issues. Whenever any contractor says they need a part, it could be anywhere from a day to, 6 months. It's not going to take that long to get our part for the generator, but it made sense for us to be closed because with the generator turning itself on and off, we were having some power surges there. I was concerned because my nightmare would be to have a fire. And in the interest of public safety, staff safety, the building safety, we determined that the best thing would be to close. So we didn't have DTE power, we didn't have generator power. That's why we were closed. When we have no power, that takes down the phone system, the website, the internet, all the rest of it. Happily, DTE came out on Wednesday and Thursday and fixed the break in the power loop. So we're back on DTE power and we're working on fixing that 3rd issue with the generator. So how is that for a long explanation?
That was fantastic, and I think I got through my little thing here. We have 12 minutes to show. I think I can avoid coughing for 12 minutes, but thank you. Question I always wondered, so in the summertime you have a lot of programs, reading programs at the library, but how does the traffic at the library compare from the summer to back when school is in session? I mean, is it busier because the kids are coming there to study, or is it not as busy because you're not doing so many reading programs and things like that?
That's a great question. And to be honest with you, the traffic at the library, I think, is usually steady depending on the season. We're always busy for different reasons. As you say, in the summer, we have the reading programs and the incentives to keep kids reading during the summer break with school. But in the fall, it's back to school. So we see a lot of kids come in to get materials to help with schoolwork. Our study rooms are heavily used. And then, for adults, it's a great time to, cozy up with a book, cozy up with an audio book. Maybe you're listening to your audio book while you're doing some fall cleaning, that kind of thing. Got the headphones on while you're doing yard work. So the library is busy at any time of the year just for different reasons.
So, Kathy, I understand that October is Michigan Library Appreciation Month. Could you tell us what that means, and do you guys have any special things going on at the library for that?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's actually, I think, fairly new because I think every month is Library Appreciation Month. But the state of Michigan has declared October Library Appreciation Month, so we do want everybody to come in and feel appreciated. It's more us appreciating the people who use and love this library and support it so much. But it's always, it's a great time to visit your library. And, September is reading month and April is National Library Month. So, I think the people who assign these months to things try just keep the enthusiasm going for all the library related topics. October is also National Book Group Month. So if you're in a book group, this month is for you. And we have a lot of great programs at the library that are centered around book groups this month.
So, Kathy, in doing some research for this interview, I found that back in 2019, you were appreciated as the director of the Troy Library. You were named the Michigan Librarian of the Year. Could you, first of all, a very, very belated congratulations to you, but can you talk a little bit about that honor, and was it a surprise to you, or did you know you were getting it?
My face is turning so red. The Michigan Library Association awarded me the Michigan Librarian of the Year award in 2019. And I received that award. I was nominated for that award and by a colleague, and then other colleagues wrote letters of support. But I was recognized for my efforts to mentor the up and coming library professionals. Mentoring is something that's very important to me because, I'm a library director now, but at some point I'm going to retire. And I want to make sure that there are competent, capable, qualified, professional, excellent candidates to take my place because I want libraries to continue. And if we don't have good library leaders, then what happens to libraries? So it's very important to me to try to nurture that talent and bring the next generation to the point where they can take over. So I was recognized for those efforts. It was very gratifying. I mean, to say I appreciated it is an understatement. It was a really wonderful day and kind of like the Academy Award of libraries.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
So when you talk about the next generation of people working in libraries, when you hire at the library, what are you looking for in a potential employee? I'm guessing a love of books is probably has to be at the top of the list.
It's funny, Larry, honestly, not as much. You'd be surprised. Obviously, we want people who enjoy the environment and who like, being around the materials. But more than anything, what I want is someone who likes people, who wants to work with people, and who wants to help people. I can teach you anything about the library. What I cannot teach you is how to be kind to people. You have it or you don't. And what I want are people who really want to help people and want to work with people because we have excellent customer service at the library. I believe in continuous improvement, and I want to hire the people who can keep our standards of excellence and give the best possible service to our patrons.
So I was looking through the calendar of events at the library, and I saw something on October 13th. You have a class called Internet Basics. Now, most of us take surfing the internet for granted because we've done it for so many years, but you forget that there might be some people who aren't very experienced on it, especially probably seniors. Can you talk a little bit about that course and what was the motivation for having that?
Sure. Well, I think, let me give you an example. Everybody can do an internet search. Probably everybody has done an internet search, but not everybody's good at creating the most effective internet search. So let's say you want to adopt a dog. You could type in dog and you're going to get 1 billion results. If you typed in adopt a dog, you're going to get 1 billion results. So what this class can help you do is create the search that's going to bring you the results you want in the shortest amount of time. So instead of doing a search that casts a wide net that gives you 1 billion results that you then have to sift through, how about creating a search that's going to maybe give you the top 10 results, the top 20 results? adopting a beagle, adopting a German shepherd, best dog breeds for someone who lives in an apartment, that sort of thing. So I think that even if you have searched the internet for years and years and years, I think this class can help you learn how to be a better searcher and to give you the results you need in a faster amount of time. So it's really for everybody.
Another course that I saw you guys hold at your West Acres branch called Move and Groove. I know this is for children. Could you talk a little bit about what Move and Groove is? I love the name of that.
Yeah. So one of the things that we've learned, early childhood specialists, which we have here at the library, have gone to school and studied about how kids learn, and especially kids in that 0 to 5 age range. And as we know, the little kids, their attention spans are short and they like to move. So Move and Groove is songs and stories and finger plays that kids can participate in while they're moving around. And it actually, there's a science to it, and it helps them learn better. So it keeps them busy and engaged and active while they're taking in information, vocabulary, story comprehension, and learning actually to focus on when someone is reading to them. It's really cute and it's really fun.
So Kathy, before we let you go, I know you always like to talk about what you are currently reading. What is on Kathy Russ's nightstand that she's reading right now?
So I just finished a book called Miss Aldridge Regrets by Louise Hare. And if any of your viewers read this book, please have them call me because I really want to talk to somebody about it. I don't want to give away the ending, but it's basically this woman is in London and she sails on the Queen Mary to take this job in New York, and a murder happens on the ship. I like mysteries, so that's what attracted me. The year is 1936. And the murders start happening over the ship, all over the ship, and she's kind of implicated. It's clear somebody's setting her up. But the ending is so not what I expected. So if you read this book, anybody out there, please call me because I really want to talk to you about it. The other book that I'm recommending all over town is called The Bullet That Missed. It's by Richard Osman. It's the third in his Thursday Murder Club series, which is an absolute delight if you haven't read it and you want a funny book that's also kind of poignant and sweet. It's seniors living at a senior living home in England, and they solve murders, and it's wonderful.
Nice. Well, Kathy, we want to thank you for joining us today, and thank you and your staff for all your hard work there at the library.
Thanks for having me, Larry. It's always fun to talk to you.
That was Kathy Russ, Director of the West Bloomfield Township Public Library. I want to thank Kathy and also the other Kathy Sheiko, for joining us from Blessings in a Backpack. And we want to thank all of our viewers for hanging out with us on the Splash Live. I am Larry Nile, and that's going to do it for today. A happy Monday to you from our Greater West Bloomfield TV, radio, and streaming show. Watch us live Monday through Friday from 9:30 to 10 a.m. on Civic Center TV. Also watch us on Comcast Channel 15, AT&T Channel 99, on the web at civiccentertv.com, on Civic Center TV's Facebook app, and you can even listen live on 89.3 Lakes FM. Tomorrow is Tuesday, and you know what? We'll see you tomorrow, West Bloomfield.